July is the height of the tourist season, and whether you're a resident of Portsmouth or someone who's never been here, this is a great time to visit our port city. As we say, if you give us a day, we'll give you a vacation. And on this episode of Portsmouth Now, we'll look at events taking place in the city this July. So stay tuned. Welcome to our July 2018 episode of Portsmouth Now. I'm your host, Rob Lauer. I'm standing here at the Portside Visitor Center with the Elizabeth River Ferry right behind me. Now this is a great jumping off place if you're visiting Portsmouth. Whether you're coming from Virginia Beach and Norfolk via the ferry or whether you're driving in from Suffolk or beyond. Here in Old Town there is so much to see and do. There are historic homes and neighborhoods to walk through. In fact, this is the largest collection of historic homes north of Charleston and south of Alexandria. There's also great restaurants, one-of-a-kind restaurants, locally owned, and there's all sorts of cuisine, Mediterranean, Italian, Mexican. There's great burger joints, pubs, sports bars. You name it, if you're a foodie, you'll love coming to Old Town. There's also several museums. There's the Portsmouth Art and Cultural Center at the corner of Court and High Street. Now, that's open 6 days a week, and on the first Friday of every month, in the evening, they have free concerts in the courtyard with free food, free drink, and free admission to the museum. And of course, every Saturday morning through most of the year around the courtyard, there is the Old Town Farmers Market, where you can find the best and locally grown produce, meat, fish, baked goods, and some arts and crafts. There's something there for everyone. If you're a lover of antiques and memorabilia and vintage memorabilia, be sure to check out the Old Town Antique to Flea Market. It's held the first Saturday of every month in the Middle Street Garage. And of course, there are the museums here in Portsmouth. There is the Portsmouth Art and Cultural Center that I just mentioned, and also the Children's Museum of Virginia. Now, at the end of High Street, there is entertainment taking place throughout the summer. It's being sponsored by the Portsmouth Department of Parks, Recreations, and Leisure Services. And we're going to talk to Mark Furlo, the head of that department. He'll tell us about that entertainment and about other events that his department is sponsoring throughout the city during the month of July. Mark, welcome. So what has the Parks and Recreations Leisure Service Department have coming up this month?
Well, thanks for having me, Rob. We've got a lot coming up in July. We've got some special events, some concerts. We're doing our Sunset Thursdays every Thursday from 6:30 to 9. And as you know, this year we moved locations because of the construction to the new Portside building. So we're at High Street Landing instead of the North Street Landing, right out in front of the Legends Brewing. But so every Thursday from 6:30 to 9, we have our concerts. And for July, we have Raw Jazz, Tidewater Drive, Second Wind Band, and Island Boy Band. And then we also have our Stars and Stripes Spectacular concert, which will feature country artist Celeste Kellogg. And then we'll finish off the night with the Tidewater Concert Band that will play until 9 o'clock, and then the fireworks will go off. That's going to be at High Street Landing as well. Mm-hmm. And then we'll move down High Street a little bit. We'll move down to Court and High for Shagging on High on the 7th.
Okay.
Celebrating Bill Deal's birthday, one of Portsmouth's native sons. Mm-hmm. And so we have the Embers. They'll be coming out to perform and they'll be performing from 4 to 7:30. And then a lot of the local restaurants and establishments will have some drink specials and have bands and music playing to celebrate commemorate Bill Deal's birthday.
Make a night of it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great time.
Great. Now, are there things going on with seniors? So there's seniors?
Yeah, we got a few events coming up with the seniors. On July 11th, we have a Silver Series Spirit of Norfolk cruise, and that's $42 per person. It's for ages 55 and up. And then on July 20th, we have our crab feast at the senior station, and that's $20 a person.
Okay, if people wanted to sign, do they sign up ahead of time for that?
You do need to pre-register, and you can call the senior station. You can call our main number, 393-8481, and get transferred to the senior station to make that reservation.
Great, all right. How about out in the parks? Anything going on?
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on at the parks. We're doing our Movies in the Park series again at City Park. That is every Saturday at 7 o'clock. And in July, we have Early Man, Cars 3, The Emoji Movie, and Deep. We also have our pools are open now, Tuesday through Sunday from 1 to 4. That's Cavalier Manor Pool and the Sportsplex Pool on Portsmouth Boulevard. And it's $1 to get in. It's 1 to 4. We also have the Splash Park that's open from 1 to 7, and that's at the Columbia Park, right next to Neighborhood Facility on Elm Street. And the admission is free for the Splash Park. Wow. And then also, Pokey Smokey is up and running now on Saturdays and Sundays from 11 to 3 p.m. The cost to ride the train is $2. And that's a favorite. Everybody loves Pokey Smokey.
Yeah, all right. Golf courses and all that is open?
Yeah, so we've got a lot of stuff going on at golf courses. We're doing our golf clinics for the children. We also have our Friday night mixers, and that is $20 per person. They have prizes, and it's a shotgun start for foursomes. Then we also do our ladies clinic on Thursdays from 6 to 7. That's $10 per person. And of course, I don't want to forget to mention that last year we installed a foot golf course at City Park. And that's been very popular. So if you're into soccer and you want to combine golf and soccer, foot golf is definitely the sport for you.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Right. Well, great. Well, thanks for joining us and telling us all about this.
Right.
And if people have any more questions, they can just call the main office at 393-8481.
That's right.
All right. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you.
Here are some more events taking place this July. I'm joined by Christine Davis and Yolanda Davis, and they are here to talk about this year's Gospelrama, which I believe has been going on for 32 years. And your grandmother here began it, right?
She did.
What year was that? Well, 32 years ago. So, what was the inspiration for it?
So the inspiration came from my grandmother, Miss Davis. She went to Canada and to an emancipation celebration. And while she was there, she drew a lot of inspirations for things that she wanted to bring here. So once she got here, she started a 3-day celebration. It started with a fair, a pageant, a talent show, and on the last day, it always ended with a gospel program, which was the Gospelrama. So over the years, all of the other days, we kind of let go, and we just stuck to the Gospelrama, which were the days that most people came out. So instead of 1 day, it's now 2 days, which is Saturday and Sunday.
But it's all gospel.
All gospel, all day.
Now, your background is opera and classical music, isn't it?
Yes, it is. She is a graduate from New York University.
Wow. And now some people think that's sort of a jump from classical music to gospel.
Well,
What's your opinion on that?
well, for her, she is a music reader. She is a classical music player. She does not do much gospel. However, the people in the community, they like her music as well as gospel. So we are giving the people what they want.
And your background is gospel music, right?
Yes.
So,
and a little bit of opera, thanks to my grandmother.
Okay. But you perform as well, don't you?
I do.
Right.
I do.
So what's on the schedule then for this year's gospel?
Well, this year we have Demetria Nicky, we have Dawson Community Choir, again Eric Taylor. I was just speaking with him and he was saying, his schedule has really intensified, but we're so grateful that he's been with us for so long, and no matter how busy he gets, he's always able to come back. We love him. Yeah. Brian Hill. We have so many new faces, local faces. We have the Word Singers, Daughters of the King, Titus Jackson and Friends. We have, this year it's going to be newer, fresher, a little bit younger, and we're trying to incorporate more choirs. So church choirs this year have really, really made a huge comeback. So we are definitely incorporating the church choirs.
32 years ago, was it more church choirs and that sort of thing?
It was.
But then as gospel music has been, really, it's almost like crossover now. I mean,
Right.
everybody likes gospel.
Everybody
it's
loves
its own
gospel.
genre, just like country.
It is.
Doesn't matter whether you're a churchgoer or not. People are fans of gospel music.
They are. And a lot of country music and R&B music and jazz music.
They feed off of each other.
They feed off of each other.
Yeah.
And if you really, really listen, you can get notes from each one in all genres, which is great because you always want to incorporate God.
Mm-hmm.
That's the purpose of Gospelrama.
Yep.
Bringing God to everyone for free on a wider scale to all of the city.
Okay, now where will it be held this year?
This year we have a great opportunity to be right here at High Street Landing. So not at Portside this year. We're going to be right at the foot of High Street, right on the water, the same place the Seawall Festival was.
Great. So as the ferries come over, they will hear the sound of gospel wafting over the waters, and they'll be right there in the middle of it when they get
And the
off.
people sitting at the restaurants, and just people just taking their time to come downtown and visiting all of the shops on High Street will be able to just walk on down and experience great gospel music.
Okay. Now what days are these?
August the 4th and 5th, this year, 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And the times are 3 o'clock p.m. until 9 o'clock p.m., Saturday and Sunday.
Wow. That's up.
6 hours.
Wow.
Full of gospel music.
All right, now will you be singing?
This year I will not be singing. I'm taking more of a helping, yes, a backstage administrative helping my grandmother mode, as well as we've acquired some really, really good help this year. Titus Jackson is a really, really great musician here from the city of Portsmouth, and he's come on board and he's helping us with, acquiring some of the new groups and some new faces and some younger performers. So it's been a real great joy just having somebody else come along with us to, just freshen it up.
Do you look for volunteers to help
We do.
organize all this?
We are always looking for volunteers.
So is there a website, Facebook site?
Well, there's not a website.
And to find out more,
There's not a Facebook site, but you can always call me. My phone number is 757-805-3214. We're always looking for volunteers. We're looking for vendors. And we're just looking for help.
Great. Well, it's been going down for 32 years. And if you two have been in charge of it, that's quite an accomplishment.
It's an amazing event that God has given my grandmother the vision to have, and to given her the strength to be able to carry it this long.
Yeah.
So
having a vision is one thing, but implementing it is something else. So
It
thank
is.
you, Ms. Davis. All right.
we are happy.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us. Good luck with this year's Gospelrama, and be
Thank you.
sure to check it out. If you love great gospel music, even if you're a stranger to gospel music, but you just want to discover it, come on out.
Come on out.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
When we return to Portsmouth now, we'll look at more events taking place in the city this July. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
You're watching PCTV, television for the new Portsmouth.
Portsmouth on the right side of the river. Rediscover your neighbor, the new Portsmouth.
Welcome back to our July 2018 episode of Portsmouth Now. Here are some more events taking place in Portsmouth this month. I'm joined by Tiffany Nichols, who is a STEM teacher at Starbase Victory. Welcome, Tiffany.
Thank you.
So tell me, how long have you been teaching STEM?
So I've been a teacher for 10 years, but I am in this current position for the third year now. Usually I work the summer programs with Starbase Victory, and it's been an amazing adventure.
Great. So what drew you into this?
Well, usually when I'm working with the summer programs, we have an amazing time with the students. They always come back and tell how much fun they've had over the summer. And, I just decided that was just the avenue that I wanted to go down, especially with the STEM aspects of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you have a camp that started today, a 3-week camp, I understand.
Yes.
Tell us about that. What is it called? Why is it called that? I mean, tell us about the program.
Yeah, the program is it's called From One Hand to Another at Starbase Victory, and we're utilizing Little Bit. So with that program, we've decided to partner with the Old Town Business Association, and we are collaborating with them so that the students can understand how to become entrepreneurs. They are learning how to manage and understand finances. They're learning about personal wellness, as well as they get the STEM aspects.
Great.
Yeah.
So what types of activities are they doing? What's day to day?
Yeah, so the overall goal is that as they're becoming entrepreneurs, they are working with these Old Town Business Association owners, and they are going to create a business sign. So yes, all of the businesses, they already have business signs, but they don't have one quite like the ones that we are creating. We're utilizing the Little Bits. They're like little electronic Legos that snap together magnetically, and they create a circuit, and that circuit creates an output, and it's either going to light up, make a sound, or move. And so they are going to utilize those pieces to add that as an addition to all of the signs that they're creating. In addition to that, they're going to be coding. So there's a little bar that goes across their sign, and it's going to read whatever that business partner or client wants it to say.
And these signs will then go up on the businesses?
They are going to be placed at the businesses, so depending on what the client wants, it can be a hanging sign, a standing sign, or a sign that's being placed on a countertop. All of our students, they are basically going to deliver whatever the client wants them to have.
Wow. And so will these be on display indefinitely, or for?
We're thinking at least up until December.
Okay,
Yeah,
so in the coming months, come down to Old Town, get some of these businesses and see the work that these kids are doing.
Yes, absolutely.
That's fantastic. Now, you said at the end of the 3 weeks there is going to be a presentation or something at City Hall?
So as a final goal, we want these students to feel amazing about what they've done because they've worked really, really hard. So we've teamed up, of course, with a lot of individuals, and we want to recognize those individuals in that time. So at the end of the 3 weeks, we are doing a really big presentation down at City Hall in the chambers, and we're going to allow these students to do a gallery walk, all of their creations that they've developed. And we're inviting, hopefully, the City Council, a lot of the parents and friends and family, and all of the instructors at Starbase Victory, and any business partners that we have to come out and fellowship with us so that they can see all of the good work that these students have done.
This is a great opportunity
Oh
for
my
these
goodness,
kids,
it's
isn't
amazing.
It? Now, what age are the students?
So our students range from 4th grade to 7th grade.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So that's a great age to get
It's a
them
great
to.
age,
They haven't
absolutely.
gotten into high school yet, so they can get their revved up thinking ahead
Yes.
to college and beyond.
You got it.
Fantastic. All right, well, thank you so much. I know we're filming this on the first day of the camp, so I know that you were just slammed.
Yes, it's
but
okay.
Thank you so much for
Thank you
taking
for
the time
having
and telling us all about it. Good luck with everything.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I'm joined by Dr. Carolyn Williams, and she is here to talk to us about From One Hand to Another, which is a science technology-based program that's been in existence now for about 10 years.
Yep.
And I asked if this was your brainchild, and you told me it was not.
No, it was not. This is the product of one of many ideas in which my son Furlo has had relative to education and giving back to the community.
Okay.
As a mother, I just try to help.
Help.
Yep.
Now, you said your son Furlo. His full name, for those who may not have put two and two together.
Furlo
Williams.
Yes.
Okay. So how were you involved in this sort of thing? Did you have an interest in this sort of education for kids? Is this something that basically you became involved with because of your son's interest?
He and his brothers have always been connected educationally because I am a former educator, Virginia Beach City Public Schools, for many years. And so being connected with education is a given.
Yeah.
Once he was able to establish or begin his music career, which is right down the street from his high school, Princess Anne High School in Virginia Beach, he began to travel and do some things that he had not otherwise done. And in doing so, he realized that there was a lot out there that he had not been exposed to as a child for whatever reason, right? And he thought these were wonderful opportunities that other children back home, especially in his neighborhood, could benefit from. And so the rest is history. I mean, at first it was to create a resource center, because that would give a place for students to come and learn new things. And to do that with the computers, because at that time, computers and virtual learning, and you could go anywhere in the world and learn. But over time, as I and others began to develop the idea, it became honestly a lot easier to go where the students were. And we were able to service more students as opposed to depending on them coming to us. Because the demographics that we're working with, they don't always have transportation, parents work, a lot of factors there. So if we could go where it would make it easier for them to attend, which we have, it's just been a lot easier and really comforting for everybody, a win-win situation.
So how did you become involved with the STEM program at Portsmouth Public Schools? Did they reach out to you? And
Actually, there was a mother whose child went to school with our COO, Stacy Lopez's child or daughters, and just talked about the program and, oh, we would love to have that in Portsmouth. And, you know, you share contacts and before you know it, a dialogue began in terms of what your program is like and what possibly could be shared. And, you know, you got to go through the formality of the MOUs and review and legalities and whatever, and the rest is history.
so does one hand from another, is that a local Virginia thing, or is this something that's reaching out nationwide?
I am so proud to say, and I hope I don't get into tears over this, 10 years, right? It all started with one classroom, but over the 10 years, it has grown across the country. We have camps in California, Arizona, New York, South Carolina. Last year we were in St. Louis, Missouri, Florida, and multiple locations in Virginia through word of mouth, parents, students, and honestly those that work when the summertime comes, they apply and, you know, it's working, because if it wasn't working, then I think it would not have grown, but obviously something is working, and the kids are getting something out of it. It's positive, and it's all about the kids.
Yeah.
Definitely not about us. It's all about the kids.
That is fantastic. Well, thank you so much for everything that you've been doing.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for taking time to come here.
Thank
and
you.
tell us
I
all
appreciate
about
it.
And,
Absolutely.
you know, I guess if people would see this, whether on TV or YouTube, and they're interested for their school district to become involved in this, regardless of where they are, is there a website that they can go to? Or?
FOHTA.org, FOTA.org. Yep, there's a website, and it gives you all the contact information.
Fantastic.
Thank
you so much.
No, thank you, sir. Be blessed.
I'm joined by Bill T-Ball Hayden, and he is the founder and executive director of Starbase Victory. Welcome. Now, please explain T-Ball.
Well, T-Ball, I was a former naval aviator, and for those of you who've seen Top Gun, the movie, you know that everybody had a nickname, Maverick and Ice, etc. So when I was in the Navy, my nickname was T-Ball, short for tennis ball, for the shape of my head. And at Starbase, as a matter of fact, we use call signs as well.
Okay.
So just about all of our instructors have call signs. So I think you interviewed Swan earlier.
Swan, that was Tiffany.
That was Tiffany, yes.
Okay. I wish I'd known that going into the interview. I would have used it. So how did you go from Navy to Starbase Victory?
Well, it's interesting. I was listening to Dr. Williams talk, and my not my life's goal, but my life's interest has been education. Yes, I was a fighter pilot. But after I got out of the Navy, it seemed to me very important that students these days get more STEM. I'm an engineer by training, and in the Navy, of course, I did a lot of engineering things. And kids these days just don't get enough STEM, science, technology, engineering, math. For whatever reason, and every school system is a little bit different, but it occurred to me that the best way to teach kids STEM, kids now, not talking high schoolers or college kids,
Right,
they've made a decision. Little
Thanks.
kids is to give them things to do with their hands and minds. So experiential learning, to me, is the secret. What you hear, you may or may not remember. What you see, you usually forget. But things that you do, they're life lessons. You remember those things. And in particular, for some of us, the more mistakes we make, the more we learn.
Which is a great way of seeing mistakes.
It
Too
is.
few people adopt that view.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with making a mistake as long as it's a learning point.
Yeah.
So back in 2002, I was asked to come to Portsmouth and set up a STEM program called Starbase. It was called Starbase Atlantis in Hampton Roads at the time, and several years later we moved the program into Victory Elementary School when it was renovated, and we became Starbase Victory.
All right, now, are the students from just that neighborhood? Do they come from all over the
No,
city?
it's elementary school kids, 4th, 5th, and 6th grades. Every 4th grader, 5th grader, 6th grader in Portsmouth Public Schools, comes to our Starbase during the course of the year. So it's all 13 elementary schools, some 1,000 kids a year. Just a completely different environment for them, and it's special.
Okay. Parents who may be watching us, or grandparents, what would you say to them if they have no concept of what STEM is, no interest in it really? What would you say to them about the importance of this type of education for the future of their children and grandchildren?
The reality of today is that almost every child, will eventually have a PDA, some kind of connection to the internet, and that's technology, and it's science. And engineering is the ability to make things using information and technology. So every child, no matter what walk of life they grew up in, is going to be exposed to technology, is going to get an opportunity to do some engineering. It isn't going to be as exciting as building a space shuttle, but it could be as exciting as building a rocket, my own rocket that I get to launch. So STEM is important. It isn't, I have to say, emphasized as much as it should be in elementary school. The children don't get as much as they perhaps should. So we give them an opportunity to kind of distill it down to 4 days where they think they're having fun, and of course they are, but they're also learning very interesting principles that will be applied throughout their lives.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you for all you've done. Thank you for what you continue to do, and thank you for taking the time to come here and tell us all about it.
That's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thanks. Well, that's it for our show today. If you'd like information about any of the events that we've discussed on today's show, simply log on to www.portsvaevents.com. Check out all the events that are listed there by date with links to various websites for more information. And then come to Portsmouth, where if you give us a day, we'll give you a vacation. I'm Rob Lauer. Join me next month for our August episode of Portsmouth Now.